What's up guys, and welcome back to the West Side. Today I've got with me Volair's newest addition to their control paddle lineup, the Control 2 Forza 16mm wide body. I've had a few play sessions with it now, so let's go ahead and break down my first impressions about this paddle. Now, if you guys are interested in buying any paddles from Volair, you guys can use my discount code WestsidePB at checkout to save 15%. It costs nothing for you, it gives a little kickback to me. It is an optional way to support the channel and any help is appreciated. Now, the Control 2 Forza has been my best friend at resets. Now, this is to be expected because this is the second iteration of their best-selling control paddle, the Mach 2 Forza. So I expected this paddle to perform very well. I don't really play with wide bodies, ever. I really just play with elongated paddles and maybe some standard shape paddles. The Carbon True Foam 2 is probably like my only exception, and the 007. So playing with this paddle and having that awesome sweet spot was really appreciated. It was a nice change of pace because most of the time I'm struggling with my sweet spot to add extra weight. I did add extra weight on the sides to broaden the sweet spot and give me a little bit more plow through. But to be honest with you, this paddle didn't really need it that much. It already had a great sweet spot, so I wasn't really doing it so much for the sweet spot, just for that added weight and stability. The Control 2 Forza is also different from the last iteration because this paddle has a Kevlar face layup, which is different from the last one because the Mach 2 had carbon fiber. This is my first ever paddle that I've used with a Kevlar face. So my question to you guys is this: is Kevlar always this gritty? Because this paddle has insane amounts of grit. I thought that Kevlar was decently gritty, but not this much. Grit isn't even the word that I would use for it. I would describe it as coarse. Like, gosh, it just feels so coarse. It made me even more excited to see the spin potential that this paddle had, and trust me, it did not disappoint. The paddle felt a little bit more stiff compared to carbon fiber, and it also added a little bit extra pop compared to some of the other carbon fiber control paddles that I've used. This is a welcome bonus because blocking speed ups didn't just give my opponent another shot straight at me. It actually added a little bit more pace on the ball, so that way my opponent didn't have an easy speed up right back at me. It allowed me to compete a little bit more in hands battles with. As I said earlier, this Kevlar face gave me some really nice spin. Now, considering that this paddle didn't feel as soft as some of the other control paddles, this still gave me great spin. My backhand rolls at the net felt really good. They came off really smooth. I was noticing that spin added to the ball to where it felt like it was actually dipping on my backhand rolls. Unfortunately, I did a little unintentional torture test on this Control 2 Forza and it pained me for it to happen. But long story short, I thought I had put my paddle in the car and instead I put it on the roof of my car. And so when I drove off, I apparently drove over it on accident. It had fallen off my roof. I felt something on my car. I was like, what did I just run over? And then I walk outside my car to see, oh, I just ran over my paddle. Oh, yeah. So I thought my paddle was gonna break, probably like right here at the handle. I thought it was gonna snap. I thought it was just gonna be totally crushed maybe on the inside. I picked it up and I was like, okay, a few tire marks, this is good. I picked it up on this side. When I flipped it over, you can see that there's maybe a couple of little indentations now because it was on gravel, it was on the street. So I think some of the rocks kind of punched in and pushed into the paddle face a little bit. But other than that, paddle is perfectly fine. I played with it that same day, played normal. I didn't hear any breaking, no crushing. This thing still feels super solid. So props to you, Volair, for making a really sturdy paddle. If my car can drive over it, it's good enough for me. I think the only downside for me personally is that since this is a wide body paddle, it made the paddle a little bit shorter. My reach just kind of felt out of tune. I was used to those longer elongated paddles, so anytime I was doing an overhead smash, specifically those smashes, I kept missing my smashes by about 2 inches. It would hit the top corner of my paddle and then my ball would just sail out of bounds. And I just couldn't get it down for like 2 hours. I kept on messing up my smashes until I really had to force myself to wait like a half second longer until I finally hit downwards on it. But again, that's a me problem. That's not really a paddle problem. I just have to get used to playing with the wide body a little bit more. But that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about the Control 2 Forza. If you had the Mach 2 Forza and you have this one as well, which one do you think is better? I have not tried the Mach 2 Forza. I've just heard really good things about it. If you have this paddle, let me know what you think about it. I'll be doing a comparison soon with the brand new Luxe Control Air 2.0 and this Control 2 Forza. So stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the video, and I'll see you guys again on the West Side.